staking?
No, not yet. No, he doesn't.
Okay, do you think that he has interest in?
No, probably not. It has a pretty significant setup in the Hedron staking pool. And it'll also, the God Whale will also be rewarded in the Hedron staking pool just by increasing the hex price and allowing for more Hedron to get burned. It'll increase his yield too. Right now, his yield his yield is already redunk. And any amount that goes through means redunk times 10. So, I mean, it could provide liquidity. Like what a big giant whale would do is not market sell any of it. Start providing liquidity for it so that way you'd be able to gain more assets on the other end of the pool as more people want more. There's obviously more people out there that haven't been involved with it. They're going to see this yield come in and they're going to need Icosa to fucking buy. They're not going to be too concerned about sitting in chat for days learning about all these other advantages that you can do to be a get it. They want it and they want it now. And we need more liquidity for them to be able to do that. Well, who has the best available opportunity to be able to do that? You know, by getting the other side of it, maybe it'd be ETH, maybe it'd be USDC, maybe it'd be whatever it is. And then you know what God Whale does with those types of things: buys more hex, increase the price, causing for more Hedron to be burned in the ladder. Even if there aren't more HSIs that get dumped into it, well, if the hex price goes, you're still going to be burning the same amount of significant amount of yield during those auctions because the premium price will go up on even less of them. It would be. You can still burn the same amount of value. You guys think about it in this term view, at least. God Whale has.
I was thinking maybe. I was thinking maybe he was buying hex. I'm sorry, just finish your point. I think I cut you off.
Well, I mean, so the God Whale can do this and take advantage of these things because he's available to do these things, provide liquidity and not hurt the community at all, allow for the community to grow even more, because maybe even like we know that there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on this thing when we're all freaking out about the yield, right? Like, what's the best time to onboard and expand the community? When all of us are hyped. I mean, we're telling everybody that shit will happen. Okay. And we've seen it in Hex before, and God Whale's there before, and maybe God Whale and even understands those types of advantages to be able to take up away from the OA, right? So the OA doesn't have to have that responsibility to continue to have health ecosystem. Being one of the largest players in it allows for you to do those things as well. And it doesn't put so much burden on these other entities that are there to help secure the asset. It could be doing the same thing with the SA, especially if that particular entity is like, I appreciate what this entity is doing. And if it wants to be able to do other things and do the same thing that I'm doing, then I can pump all these prices around and cause for all these things to happen. I can be the reason why the gasoline that gets put into the motor is now nitrous and why it can keep going. No matter how much you dilute it down, you'll get this amount of firepower. And I see beneficial things with it, and I can see how other people see negatives with selfish types of mentality. I'm always a communal guy, and I always try to see the benefits of the communal activity. And these types of entities, I always see them behaving in a communal type of way. So that's where I say. Go ahead, Kismet.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, if there was a possible play to think about, like he would buy hex off the market. I mean, he kind of already has a lot of hex, but let's just say that the hex that he bought now, he would create a HSI with, and then on the day prior to the yield being paid off from the first day of liquidation, he would enter a position with a co-stake without giving time to react, so he just becomes a big player from the very get-go. But then again, I'm thinking maybe it's more beneficial for him to take that stake and provide liquidity with it for that quota. I'm not sure.
He's going to do what's best for the whole ecosystem.
I would assume that he would, because if you're getting that type of yield, guaranteed generational wealth for for a long period of time, and you don't even have to market sell it. I mean, just these small amount of fees that you can get by a transaction that happen over a 24-hour period, and make sure that you are the one that's being able to generate that type of income by just making sure that the health of the ecosystem is there. Then after a certain period of time, you'll have all that power to be able to do those types of things, and you don't have to market sell and all that stuff. I mean, it would be types of conversations I would have with very wealthy people who want to move their money around, which is kind of the reason why I would tell you guys how to be able to provide liquidity and do these types of things, because I would have sneaking suspicion that some of you might end up in a very good position in the future.
Yeah, I mean, if there is a player that's going to make it possible for the Hex community to understand that they actually have a sink other than selling Hex on the market, then this player is definitely going to be one of them. I mean, he's going to be the one who's going to be able to create an environment where people actually can sell a ton of Icosa without
without hurting
without taking a penalty.
Imagine that guy that has the most amount of Hex and the most amount of Icosa going to liquidity and just slamming them together. Meaning, like, you can go provide liquidity and have USDC and try to make that the most dominant pair, but Uniswap's only going to care which one has the largest amount of liquidity in it. So he can dominate that pool, and nobody would even find out who pays attention to the router other than me, right?
Right.
I don't know if that's significant to you guys or not. But I find that to be extremely significant. Those understandings when you have those pairs, how that router works.
If he ends his stake, the one that he have in Hedron, after those 360 days are up, he's gonna have a lot, a lot to support the system, dude. Like, he can do whatever he wants with all that Icosa. If he ends the stake, of course.
If he ends it, he's making like over 10,000, 13,000 a day or some shit in Icosa. So if he ends his stake after 365 days, you know how much I'm going to shit my fucking pants? The bonus yield that I'll get in my Wattses.
Either way, we're winning.
Oh my God.
In your pants normally means to have fear, right?
Not in this sense.
Not in this sense. Oh, yeah, I thought I was hearing it wrong. Okay.
Yeah,
don't we want him to not be in this? Like, then that's like more for us little guys, though. Like, I don't know.
There has to be liquidity.
Price can be supported at a higher appreciation scale. So I think when it goes down, price appreciation is then that's how it balances.
I mean, this is a player who's not gonna dump. I don't think he has any priorities of trying to hurt the Icosa system at all. I mean, he probably has other things that he'll dump. So the majority of what he makes is probably going to be beneficial for all of us.
Yeah, I would have to say so. I mean, if I didn't have the means to go and like teach a bunch of people how to do it and have trust in all those people that they do it well, and I already know how to do all it anyway, and I don't have to go through all that trouble, and I have the best capable means to be able to put myself and everybody in the best position for longevity, then I'd probably just do it myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important for a player like that to establish a strong position within an ecosystem that he deems is worth to be in. And then, of course, you have the actions that they take are going to determine their motives. But I think this is an actor that has showcased good motives throughout time. So it's not going to be a problem for any of us.
Well, until he doesn't, right? Like until one of these entities that's never done anyone in the community wrong it does something that you're just kind of like, what the fuck, right? Then you can go on the other side of it and then start having this speculative understanding of maybe I had things wrong. We'll have to change our mindset and nitpick the fuck out of it apart and see exactly where we now stand in that situation. But for right now,
but this is a part of the game, because I mean, the only reason why a person is in a position is because they took actions in the past that allowed them to be in this position, and it's just part of the game. Like,
I agree.
Oh shoot, I've just been reading through some of RH's Twitter responses, like replies on his tweets, and it definitely seems like the bottom is almost in. he's in a rare mode right now. It's funny.
Oh shit, I'll have to go read these tweets.
Yeah, so it's kind of divided. Yeah, a lot of people think it's gonna go to 10K Bitcoin, and the other people think here the bottom is in. I mean, who is on the most? Who is on which side are the most people? And then you know the opposite is gonna happen. I mean, it's kind of confusing.
I might have misspoke on the RH tweet stuff. I somehow lost the tweet. That was extremely funny. I was gonna share it in the group, but yes, the entertainment is pretty good.
Yeah, because the only thing I see is like DM me who I should unfollow and tell me why. Is the last one. But he did have a bigger one that was there, but I remember that because I got the tweet while we were talking and I shut it off right away. That's how I got busted. Alex finding out he knew that I was following him because he would send a tweet out and then my thing would go off and he would call me out on it and be like, are you have my thing on notifications on? And I said, yes, I do. Jerk. Call me out.
As part of your vetting, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Man, he in the early days, I was accused of all different 4-digit number wallets by all sort, even Alex. He's like, "Is this yours?"
I wish people said that about me, man. Jeez, that must be rough.
Right. I just had a protocol answer to everything. No.
Yeah, that's what you call a good problem. I like good problems.
It's funny. Like, even if it was, I wouldn't tell you. Are you the SA?
I mean, freedom has to be protected. Like I think we can conceive of how important it is, but maybe we don't act as important as we know we should or as it is, because it's the whole reason crypto exists. So
Okay. You want to hear maybe another small joke that I heard this summer?
Eric Wall is the God whale.
Is the gay whale?
Also, going back to the tranny thing, we also changed himself to Erica. You know, let's be respectful. Jeez.
Oh, fuck.
The gay whale, dude.
Hmm. Is my mic still working? No.
Yes, I can hear you. I'm not sure how everyone else can hear you, but I certainly can.
Ah, thanks. No, my speakers went out, so I had to play with my cables a little bit.
Yeah, that's why I had to play with my cable too.
You playing with your cables?
Yeah, can you guys hear Hex Photon?
I can.
All of you? He was just okay. Good. Okay, I didn't want that would have sounded really weird if all of a sudden I just come out and say some weird shit.
You guys want to play with your cables? Hex Photon always comes in really quiet though.
Really? What? I'm quiet. That's not possible.
No. The voice on when I hear your voice, it's always lower than others.
I agree.
Really?
I would have to agree, and I would also have to slightly complain because at times I definitely am like, okay, what?
You should have told me before.
Peaceful, like I don't want you to yell.
Wait, let me see.
There's always a sense of relaxation when Photon speaks. Just goes through me.
What about now?
It's good.
Because I had some noise canceling stuff going on.
Yeah,
I
much
had
better.
a noise.
Much better. Much better.
Okay, thanks. Okay, perfect. You should have told me.
I did.
Thank you. Has it been always like this? What?
Through my device, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I hear execution clearly.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm not even talking. What? Right.
I heard the other day also that Crypto Slow is also looking into Icosa and stuff. That's really cool because he's got a nice community also.
Crypto slow from Bankroll.
Yep,
Yeah, they're all scammers, man. We don't want them. We don't want nothing to
they're
do
all
with
scammers.
anybody that knows Bank Teller or BT or Bankroll. We don't want anything to do with them.
Yeah, I never jumped in that.
Yeah. Trust me on this one.
How are
Yeah,
they gonna
I'm
scam
glad
us
I
here
never.
though? If they bring the money into the system, I don't see why that's bad. They can't really do anything.
Yeah, you're right. That's true too. We just don't want. I don't want them around X or anything to do with us.
Well, eventually, yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean though. In terms of community, they can come in and like feed on noobs, bait them to do dumb things.
Yeah, that's right. We don't want that. It's gonna be so amazing when all across the YouTube, the crypto YouTube, people are gonna start talking about pulse and hex and stuff like that. I can see it in front of me already. I can see it happening. I wouldn't mind if it doesn't, but it would be kind of neat.
Yeah, it's almost guaranteed to happen. And that bankroll, like maybe send him a message and tell him that Zen is way better.
Yeah.
Go buy
Okay.
you some, go get that shit.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see.
But I mean, like, I kind of agree in that sense. Like what Kismet was saying is like, eventually, like, you're gonna have to kind of deal with some of those things, whether you like it or not. Regardless of the newbies and the rest of the risk profiles that'll need to be taken. But wouldn't it be nice to onboard everybody, the whole world? Isn't that the goal?
Yeah, especially on board into something that has a high standard, so it sets a standard for them.
Yeah, we should all just 3D print a hex Bible and go out and preach. Convert. Heal.
Yeah, we'll have they'll name it after us. They'll make it something really nice.
Oh
Like,
shit, somebody somebody was faster than me. I go to the Crypto Slow Telegram channel and there's like the last two posts are from Zen. What? Somebody was a little bit ahead of you. Well,
suddenly everybody went to app.icosa.pro and we're checking out their yield or something in an hour.
I really should move to another time zone, man. It's 3 a.m. already again.
Damn, Rich left again. Start talking about some gay shit.
I remember this time when I met this tranny.
So I walked into the men's bathroom, right? Lo and behold, there was a bunch of women at the urinals. It was the craziest thing.
After she sucked my dick, she was like, "You want to return the favor, motherfucker? You look like the kind of guy you could fuck a dude in the ass and not even have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around. Bet you can suck a, can, I bet you can suck a ping pong ball through a garden hose, something like that. Such a fun movie. I love that movie.
All right, we just need to wait, and then when we see him pop in, it's go time.
Yeah.
How many dicks would you suck for a Watson to get burned?
quick.
Imagine if this conversation ended up on Crypto Gems.
Oh no.
Edited.
We'll get canceled.
This is live on YouTube, so I didn't know that.
Like right now, unedited. It is right now. Let me see.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Well, I see at least Siggy's in here, so that means probably yes.
Mm. That sounds sensual. Rhythmic pulse. Mm-mm.
But I
I
mean,
like that.
if Siggy Hexdust is the creator of the YouTube channel that gets displayed the live stuff, look at his bio. I think we're okay with talking about all sorts of shit. It's very informative and very truthful.
On Telegram, you mean?
Yeah, it says "Don't whiz on an electric fence." Is his bio?
Oh, yes.
on Telegram.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't shit where you eat, my friend.
That's right. Don't shit where you eat.
Don't know the song? There's a
Yeah, I thought
song
it was
from...
"Don't shit where you sleep."
No. It's don't shit where you eat, my friend.
Okay. Huh.
Makes more sense, right?
That definitely
No,
sounds a little more disturbing for sure. Yes.
it's a song from the American band called Ween. You know Ween? Ween?
Yeah. Yep.
Don't shit where you eat, my friend. It's a nice song. You want me to sing it for you?
Oh, I think I think you did a smashing job already.
Well, there's another song and it's really nice.
I mean, no one's going to stop you until you get muted by somebody. I won't do it. It wasn't me if that happens. I'll blame it on Jawa. Is he still in here? Nope, can't blame it on Jawa. Am I the only admin in here? Damn it.
I can just play the song. No. If you want to hear it, it's called "Don't Shit Where You Eat, My Friend" from Ween. They have a lot of nice. It's kind of a country. It has kind of a country sound to it. Is the Icosa you yield with the Watsa pool liquid or only available after ending stake? Yeah. The only thing I know is you gotta burn.
I think so they don't get too confused. I mean, unless I didn't see what your answer was.
Oh,
For like,
I'm
you didn't answer it.
yeah,
answer
I
it.
was going to respond only avail after burning the Watsa, so yes, after ending stake.
Technically, it is it's redeem Icosa function instead of burn, like what we call it.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
No, I'm not gonna answer because I don't have WhatsApp myself, so I don't want to pretend that I know what's up completely. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to
That's okay. I'll answer it.
come off as I don't want to. Nah, I don't feel it right for me to answer that if I only know half of it. I mean, yeah. Hey, you have the same keyboard as me.
Here's someone typing.
Sorry, that's me.
You have a very strong type, sir.
Thank you. I do. I've done it before, once or twice.
It sounded very convincing.
I was wondering, like, what are you typing? Please tell us.
I posted it in the Icosa chat. If you're so interested, you can read it.
What are you typing?
And he
Who are you
snuck in
typing?
here. Snuck in here, guys, and we lost our opportunity. Son of a bitch. So I walked into a bathroom.
I was sitting on this beach and this tranny was running by, but she had a boob job, and one boob was just flailing around like normal average boob, and then the other boob was like fixed like stone. That was crazy. That
we
was
had
electric.
intentions. We had intentions, Rich, to make sure that by the time you re-entered back into the room, that we were back on the tranny thing again, and we fucked it up. Fucked it up.
You sure it wasn't triple DK?
I'm disappointed with all of you.
Because we're gay?
His response would have been epic, though. He wouldn't even have known what the hell to think.
The conspiracy.
We're all tranny.
It's a gay conspiracy.
And I would appreciate if you would stop describing to people what my breasts look like. Thank you very much.
What the fuck is that one breast was fixed like a stone, bro. How do you come up with that on the fly?
The masturbation titty. It's
Fucking
very
happened,
well
man.
worked out.
I'm talking truth. It really happened. I was 11 years old or something. Almost. No. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Sorry, brother.
It was kind of interesting. It was the first time I saw it.
It's like a car accident. You just have to keep looking, and you're not sure why.
Mm-hmm.
And then for afterwards, you feel like you really shouldn't have done that. And you might be scarred for life.
Well, I was a child, so.
I mean, speaking about it publicly means you're kind of working it out, therapeutically.
Yeah, well, since then I've been wondering what it would feel like to have one stone breast.
I think it would make your back hurt.
I think I would make someone's face hurt. Whoosh.
I'm gonna be rest my back, man. I've been farming my whole adult life. I chose the way of the laborer, the toiler of the earth, and it's wearing on me a little bit. But yeah, I'm just gonna pivot to teaching, setting things up, teaching.
Please don't stop. Please don't stop. Just find a way to make it really enjoyable for your mind.
Bro,
Every
he's
Basically,
gonna
time.
own farms, and he's gonna be pointing directions for the other laborers in the future. Mark my words.
Thank you,
Really.
Wave Rider.
Yeah, really, you're gonna be a master, a teacher on those things, you know?
Love, feeling the love. Thank you. I won't let it get to my head. My ego is gone. There is no me anymore.
No. This is not to your head. This is straight to your heart.
Very well said and taken. Thank you. Yes. Reciprocating, similar confidence in all of us.
If when Hex reaches 50 cents or $1, I'll come and visit and drink that delicious milk and help you out.
No. Let's make it bigger. Let's 20 when it hits $20. I'll pay for you to come visit.
So the
Really,
best case scenario for this class to go ahead, Rich.
it's okay. I was just exchanging pleasantries. Yeah, love my brothers. All right, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. So the best case scenario for sacred class in Icosa is for Hedron price to go up, and Hex price to go up, and Hedron price to dump. That would be like amazing for people banking on the yield.
Whatever happens, we're good.
Well, sometimes what gets my panties in a little bunch is the thought that it's even hard to try to explain the basics of like a Bitcoin and crypto to non-coiners. How the hell, I mean, how the hell do you expect a random person to jump on and get MetaMask and get ETH, get Hex, stake it? I mean, we're having a not a hard time, but an intense time of wrapping our heads around all the whole ecosystem, and the coins and the staking and all that. Because I've onboarded people, but then again, a lot of people I talk to, they say, "I want to do it, I want to do it," and then I explain the basics. So just get started. Just look up a bunch of videos. Ask me, you can ask me stuff, but just go watch a bunch of videos, take the basics, explain the basics, and then I say, ask me a question. And then a lot of them don't come back because they just don't understand. It's too complicated.
But that's good though. That's on one hand, that's good. once you establish your position, eventually with time, and they're gonna come on board. But it's just opportunity for everyone who's in here now.
Yeah, it's indeed good in the sense that you're gonna attract people that are a bit more self-sufficient, or how do you say that, or are a bit more I don't know.
Acting based on one's self-interest.
Yeah, but also not to say. I mean, I don't think
Guided
I'm the
and
smartest
knowledgeable.
person, but yeah, because talking to you guys, I noticed that it's a certain level, it's a certain level of understanding, and you have to have before even starting this stuff. But I'm sure it will get simplified with time.
Yeah, everything does get simplified, but the more simple something becomes, the more trust you have to put in something. So it's like an exchange. So it loses its intrinsic value of setting people free. But I mean, there's gonna be ways, man. Got some epic brains in this system. Not in this specific, but in crypto in general, like across the board. There's some pretty smart people in it. So they're gonna figure out a way to onboard the masses without problems in the future. We just need
Sometimes,
one click for everything.
yeah, sometimes I feel I want to do more, to help spreading the word and stuff.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that you can't force somebody to do it. Like they have to have interest themselves.
Yes, of course, of course. Well,
It's very
interest
even
is.
though you as a good man or just a good-hearted person in general, once you find something good, you want to share it with everybody, right? It's just natural. But once you run into the wall enough times, you realize that it's no good. It's not worth your
Yeah,
energy.
sometimes
It'll
people
come.
aren't ready for as much truth or as much goodness in their life, right? So you can lead a horse to water, you can't make them drink, and you don't want to cast pearls at swine. So yeah, that's it's kind of like just kind of have to find those people who maybe you've mentioned crypto to them, but then they brought it up, the next time they saw you. Like, yeah. It's happening, I think, at a perfect rate. I don't think that we haven't achieved enough adoption. I think we're going to achieve a lot more in this next bull run, and that's all we'll need.
Yeah. It's not that I feel that I want to rush it, but it's like you said, you find something good, and then you're so happy about it, and then you're like, wow, this can be possible for many people, and then they just ridicule you. It's crazy. In the beginning, when I found Bitcoin, I told everybody I could speak about, everybody that the conversation went to finances or something. I was like, just get $500 of Bitcoin and just put it away and for 10 years and don't look at it, please. They don't understand. It's just crazy.
How many years ago was that?
This was almost 4 years ago.
Entry?
It's not the first time the first time I ran into Bitcoin, it was way early, but I didn't do enough research. I was on my own and I couldn't find out how to store the Bitcoin. I knew I had to get a wallet of some kind, but I didn't know the technicals. And I think Mount Gox was in full swing back then. And I just gave up because I didn't know. I didn't know how to. I thought, I'm gonna put $100 or $1,000 into it, and I'm gonna put it on a wallet on my computer. What if
So
my
you're
hard disk?
waiting for Mount Gox funds?
No. It was around that time, but I never invested because I didn't figure out how to get a wallet, and I was afraid that my hard disk would fail, and then the wallets and the coins would be gone, and then the $100 or the 100 euros or 200 or 500 that they would be gone. And I didn't do enough research. I just didn't do enough research. I gave up because life was also happening, and attention goes there and stuff like that. It was a really bad period in my life. Yeah.
Last time I checked, there was like, I think it was late 2021 or something. There's around 3 billion people who have no internet access. So you're going to see in the future, in the coming future actually, that we're going to have exterior technologies outside the cryptosphere that will be enabling those 3 billion people to have internet access. And if they don't have internet access, it's also safe to assume that they have a lot of trouble with banking and transferring money from one place to another. So you have Elon Musk is going to play a role in this because of Starlink. If it will be adopted worldwide, it will be able to give internet access to everybody on the planet. And the everybody's, they're going to have suddenly out of nowhere an ability to create something and earn money worldwide. So we don't know what geographical location they're at. We don't know what kind of resources they can provide to the world market. But it's going to be interesting because these people, they're going to be introduced to blockchain. And they can't because there's no internet now, but in the future they will be. That's like just a burst shot of just a magnitude of people.
Well, it's kind of happening now, if you go to Africa, the people they don't buy a PC for the house, they get a smartphone. And even now in Africa, people don't pay each other with money because the local currency ain't worth nothing. They pay each other in call minutes. In Africa, they go to a store, they buy
Yeah.
call minutes, and then they pay each other for goods with call minutes. So it's already happening, and I think this is where the mass adoption is going to come from, the emerging markets, not so much the Western markets. There's going to be a huge surge probably from those people that were unbanked. Uh, they don't have an ID card, they don't have a bank account, so they can't buy property, they can't open a shop legally. It's everywhere, even in China. So many people are not registered. Africa, the same thing. So, yeah, that's the biggest plus for the old institution. That's the biggest plus for the legacy banking system. There's going to be a way to onboard the unbanked. Why? Because it's much easier to be able to. That's 3 billion people of taxes that they are missing. I know it's horrible, it sounds despicable, but
No, it's a reality, dude. This is how things are. And so the good thing is that we're working towards solutions. It's going to be good. If not global, if not on a global scale, at least these people that we're going to have better means to trade between each other within their own communities. And that's good for humanity overall.
and that's the education I want to provide also, to people, just to tell them that there is an alternative, uh, that there is alternative. Even here, I talk to people, and I tell them, I'm able to do business, I'm able to work with money without the interference of a bank or the government. It's like, huh? What? It's truly powerful. Yeah. So I think it's important. Yeah, it would be nice to tell people that they have an alternative. They get a smartphone. They don't have to jump into the CBDC crap. It's gonna be there nonetheless, but
that right?
Oh, no, it sits there. If somebody can't meet the minimum default bid on it, it just sits there until somebody can.
Yeah. So like once the auction actually starts, that means somebody is going to win it. Like that, it's a necessary outcome once the first bid is made. And like Hex Future said, if no one makes that first bid, then it just chills out there.
Right, right. Prices are super high. That could deter people from taking those bids.
I mean, yeah, we kind of talked about that. Like Godwale maybe would have the potential to make a stake that was so big that he would be able to take a borrow from it and never worry about it getting liquidated because there wouldn't be enough people to have enough money to be able to even bid the minimum bid. But I mean, it's the reason why it's like that is for like not for the auctions and the Icosa stuff necessarily. It's just for the actual borrow function itself. So if you go through 3 missed payments, 3 30-day payment windows missed in a row, you may actually have more time than that. So if it does go onto the default page and people just weren't paying attention to it and it didn't get bid on, then you may be able to, get an extra day or 2 or 3 to go make a payment and then take it off of that default list and then be able to keep that HSI on your own. Like I said, that borrowing protocol is probably one of the hardest things I've ever seen to actually legitimately get liquidated on. There's so many ways to not get liquidated. He is fucking getting it on them.
Who's at the workshop right now?
That's Sloth.
Sorry, my bad. I thought I muted myself. That's my bad.
He is beating that chicken. That poor chicken.
Hey. I'm trying to level up my walk skills, man.
Hey, here's some Godwale game theory. For most of us, if we add to our stake on the heat pool, it makes sense, yeah, because you drummed into us, Executioner. You maintain your share rate. But for the Godwale, he's minting so much Hedron, he's actually going to water himself down. So a good play for him, tell me if you disagree with this, would be actually when his year is up, 360 days, he'll actually his best game would be to unstake, get the Icosa, and then put it into the Icosa pool because he won't be diluting himself. And then take his new set of Hedron and then add it to the pool. So then he's got a large stake in both pools. Would you say that was true? Because if he does that, obviously we can all jump with joy because the Watsa payout is just going to be phenomenal.
I mean, it could be. It could be a thought process. I mean, that particular individual has all sorts of cool shit that they could do that we're probably not going to be so disappointed with him doing. I mean, the Godwale can take all that Hedron and just go buy up all of the HSIs and compete with everybody if he was so inclined to do those things and buy up as many of them, just have the intention to throw them back into the buyback function so it can increase his own yield in any pool that he's in. And then continue to pump the hex price and then watch Hedron get burned into fucking submission. He can do any of those things. Any of them. Anything we can do, he can do better. Anything we can do, he can do too. Yes, he can.
I would just absolutely. I would love to see the Godwale just like set the Icosa hex ceiling price. Like that would be incredible. That'd be like what an incredible like thing to see. Because like he has enough tokens where he could just set it so no one can sell through it basically.
I would. That's kind of what I was talking to guys, to these community members, investors, and fantastic family members about earlier with what he can do as well, because he's making like somewhere around 10,000, 14,000 a day in his Hedron staking pool or something like that. So after a year of just see how the bootstrapping and how the SA on and get involved in these things, and we'll see how it is. And it ends up, if the community ends up like being something that I want to further invest in, then yeah, he could potentially end the stake, take the Icosa out, and not even go into the Icosa staking pool, and become the dominant market maker for making sure that the health of the price movements are for him to do. And like, I agree with you, Crypto Sloth, that we would need more data that would suggest that he's even capable of understanding those things like some of us do.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe you need some help with that.
Well, that was like even part of my goal with like the Hex Endgame stream that I had. Like I wanted to put out like, hey, like this thing is possible for any of you big players out there. Like you can make a real dent in like the way this system moves forward. Even like a dolphin or a shark can have a massive impact if they set the liquidity in the right way and move it correctly.
Yeah, imagine the people coming in and you're the major liquidity provider doing those things. So that means that you'll be able to build up the opposing asset that you're putting up against it, like, I don't know, USDC or whatever, right? And you could build like a large amount of US, especially in the bear market, right? Like you're going to assume that we're going to be selling for more, and you can just capture more USDC, and then you can just pump it into Hex, pump it into this, or pump it into that, and add more liquidity at different ranges, and then cause for price to go where you want it to go at places.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. There's like the big gigabrain thing that I thought of.
Bro?
Oh, did you hear all that? Sorry, I was getting some chopsticks. But here's the thing I was thinking of today. That would be like the big gigabrain, not maybe not gigabrain mood, but like a giga Chad mood, where like what you could do is when a lot of Icosa inflation starts coming out, someone like if a large player has a lot, they could sell down the Icosa Hex ratio, make it break the peg, and then right after that, take a bunch of their Icosa and then single side stake it at the ceiling price. Because you can only single side stake when the price is outside of your range. So they could take all of that Icosa basically that they got for free after selling down the price, and then single side stake it in the liquidity pair, so they don't have to take any of their Hex and put it up and risk it in the liquidity pool. So they're bolstering the ceiling.
Are you saying like maybe do that like a limit order type of thing, but through liquidity, or actually do it and provide price in that, like a stability of the price in those ranges?
Yeah, like a single sided liquidity position. So if the price is under where you want to put your liquidity, like if price is under the ceiling price, and you want to provide liquidity at the ceiling ratio, you would only be putting in Icosa. Because technically the price needs to go up and sell into your liquidity. So people are buying Icosa and giving you Hex. But the only opportunity you have to do that is if the price is not in the ratio range that you're looking to provide for. And so if it's at the ceiling price, you have to put up some Hex in order to be able to capitalize on those fees and protect the price. But if you sell it down by selling Icosa and pushing the price down, then what you can do is just take all of the free Icosa that you have, put it at that ceiling price, because you can set a single-sided liquidity position there. And then when the price comes back up, you're protecting the price with all that Icosa that you got without ever having to sacrifice or risk any of your own Hex. Does that make sense?
I would have to agree. Yeah, especially if you can overpower the Icosa USDC pair, which I mean that'd be pretty simple to do right now, and make sure that Hex Icosa pair was the biggest one that was there, so that router used your pair all the time.
Well, I think if you just go through Uniswap,
and I'll just like do it too. Just let me know if you're gonna do that, and then I'll do it too. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll send out a tweet like, guys, it's happening. If you were there on what's today, October 25th, what I was talking about, it was about to happen. Get ready.
Thank you, Sloth.
But I think if you just go through Uniswap and then I think if you just do the selling Icosa into Hex, I don't know if does it automatically route you through other pairs, Uniswap, or does it only sell into that specific pool, Executioner? I have no idea.
It depends on the amount of liquidity that you're trying to actually consume. If you overpower in your trade, it will start routing into pairs that have more liquidity, and then it'll make the swaps back and forth between them and extract the value to give you the assets that you want in the end result.
Gotcha. So you have to be pretty.
So
You have to be pretty calculated with it, and like doing it in like just large enough batches where it'll still route through the pair that you want.
That's correct. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna hop off for a second, go eat dinner, but I'll probably hop back on when I'm done. Sorry for all the noise, guys. I apologize.
Yeah, thanks for stopping in, man.
Have a good meal. Just another random question: does anyone ever messed with flash loans? Because I've been trying to figure it out. Last year I was in a period where I was trying to figure it out, how to make it work and stuff.
I think it depends on the site that you go to use the bots to be able to manipulate the blocks. It can get confusing. There are some sites that make it really easy. So they actually have blocks, like 3D blocks that represent your assets, and you can move them around. So that way they'll actually activate when you want them to activate, especially if you want a bunch of things to happen all in one 13-second block. So that way you don't split the transactions. So you can front run somebody. How exactly to do it, I've only watched videos on specific channels that have websites with front ends to use those specific front ends. So you might want to look that up and maybe do it that way.
Yeah, I was on that website that you were mentioning with the blocks.
It's something Guru. I don't even remember what it's called. Something Guru.
I can't remember either. I have it bookmarked somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I think I do too.
Are you talking about Dex Guru?
No.
It's a Furu combo.
Furu combo, yes, that was it.
Yep.
FURUCOMBO. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and there's YouTube videos that explain how this works, but on the Ethereum network, sometimes the only amount of money that you can extract, even if you do front run somebody, is the amount of gas fees that you got. So I watched the guy. There's a YouTube video of a guy that does it, and he loses money when he does it. So
yeah, I was more thinking along the lines of arbitrage,
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since you have such a specific thing that you want to do in this ecosystem, that makes a hell of a lot of sense. Yeah, absolutely. The video, he just goes and does some random bullshit that he probably doesn't even know if there was an advantage. It's just pretty purely educational. He wasted money to teach people how to use it, pretty much.
But it's really interesting, though. It's a really interesting instrument. You can do a lot of good with it, I think.
You could definitely continue to keep yourself in an advantage position if you know how to manipulate the blocks. That's for sure.
Yeah, because yesterday my neighbor came at me with an arbitrage opportunity, and I looked further into it, but there was only like $100 of liquidity in the low pair, so in the lowest ticker of the pair. So it was not going to work out. So I warned him. I said, "No, don't do it. Don't even try to do it, because you're not going to be able to sell it." But yeah.
Just stake until you make it.
In my opinion, with something that only had $100 worth of liquidity, you did that friend of yours a favor. So good on you, man.
Yeah.
I don't. There's people that think that they can be a market maker with like a grand, and then they experiment on with LPs. I don't think that you're not really can do that unless you're a big player. So it's kind of like pointless. But being like an LP provider.
I think it depends on how much actual pool is there. So like the Icosa USDC pair, if it has $80,000 and I go put in $8,000 across the pair, then technically, well, let's say if 8 of the $80,000, 8,000 of it was mine, then I'm 10% of the pool and all the fees, and I garner 10% of all the fees of every transaction that goes through. When the liquidity pools get in the millions of dollars, then 10% is going to be $100,000 of $1 million, and so on and so forth. And this is how market makers actually are able to they're able to keep their principles and be able to extract yield through providing liquidity and market making and doing all the healthy stuff that needs to be done as well. So they can make a profit too. And it also incentivizes them to continue to keep doing what they're doing. So you need to have a community that's always active, always onboarding, always bringing new people in, causing for 24-hour volume to come across the pairs, if not every day, at least every once, a couple times a week, that it keeps them incentivized to keep doing what they're doing. Otherwise, they'll get bored and they'll just move on to something else with all of their money. So
I'm
yeah,
getting bored Hedron and Icosa.
Oh, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. Wait 19 days.
Saying that I'm not bored. Like, it's great. That's a good product market fit. People want to move stuff and they want to do different things.
Oh, I thought you said you are getting bored like a smartass.
No.
I don't even view you as the smartass type, but for some reason, that's exactly what I thought you did.
Yeah, normally I'm not, but I reserve the right to act out of character anytime it's necessary.
Somebody ban him quick. What do you mean he sent it back?
if the OA was to provide on the Pulse side, there's obviously more tokens, thus more a dollar amount of items. So if the OA was to provide liquidity or with a big bag of Pulse Hex, does it impact the dollar amount of something on the other side as well, or?
No.
Okay.
Liquidity doesn't affect the price at all. Only buys and sells affect the price, and that's it. Liquidity allows for buys and sells to happen. Will affect the price.
But then there's he adds a USD amount to the pool towards liquidity. No, like.
Well, if I wanted to spend $1 million, but the liquidity pools didn't have $1 million in there, then that means that I'd have to provide enough liquidity to make sure that I didn't have slippage, so I can make my purchases and do the least amount of purchases possible to be able to get my $1 million in. You would have to do that. You can't rely on someone else to do it for you.
But there's more dollar. Like, say that these bridges come up and say Pulse Hex is 20 cents off the bat, and there are pulls there. Then he can bring in some of that Pulse Hex to provide liquidity. Pulse Hex to provide liquidity for Pulse Chain and Pulse Hex, not included in like the stable coins that he's got. Do you see? Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying that, like, actually by providing liquidity, does it affect the price?
No, like the OA has off. So with Pulse's more pairs, that's more potential for USD based on the pairs. Like you've got Pulse X there alone, and then that has a USD price, and so the OA's got a big bag of it, and then the OA could start pairing that with Pulse X and stuff. Thus, it has liquidity.
That provide more stability to the price or less?
It would provide more stability to the price, less volatility.
I was thinking that's like the net gain or loss, out of that effect.
Yeah, Yeah, and like PulseX is kind of it's not adding the complications that I'm aware of, considering that it's all V2. So I mean, like the more liquidity that's in there allows for more price movement to be had.
But I googled that open source code when it becomes open source. It's not until April 2023 V3 uni.
Did they update their contract? Because as of a year ago, when we were all looking at it and actually having intentions to do something like that, it was October 20th of this year.
I thought too, and then I also heard someone say April of 2020.
I don't know. I'll have to go look at it on Uniswap, but I have to go since it's 9 o'clock, so I'm not going to do that now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, my lady's just getting off work, so I'm going to go spend some time with her. Or, I mean, were you directing those questions just directly at me? You just want to have that with me real quick?
No. Well, that's we know that it's not open source until April 2023, so they're not going to be able to take it until then, and then you don't need an AMA bot anymore. You're just taking the bang, it's there.
Check this out, though. Ethereum ETH-POW has a Uniswap front end and back end. They didn't do it. Ethereum Fair immediately had a front end, back end for you to be able to move your liquidity and buy and purchase assets across that pair. Alex made it.
Boom.
So there goes your narrative for that right out the damn window, right? Like, and I was under the same thing. I was under the same thing when I saw it happen. I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
What were we doing for months about the AMA bot then? Sort of.
No shit. Your head is now traveling down the right path, sir. That's right. I had the same thing happen to me. Like, what was the point of all of that if this is the true case? Because now we have we can see it. Proof. We've got Uniswap front ends. The liquidity that I had available got copied over, and I was able to move it and do around with all the stuff that I already had available there. Nothing stopped me. Nothing. So all you need is a new front end for the RPC settings, and I believe Alex would have the availability of doing that, I don't know, in about 15 minutes.
Well, what's taking us so long other than massaging the new gas into the Ethereum virtual machine 2.0 fork? Like, we're using that code now, make the changes with capacity 10,000 times, and then go.
I don't think that's what's holding him up.
What is them? Do you think, like timing or?
Well, I mean, maybe timing. Maybe they actually came across some things that they actually wanted to change because they found out that people would be able to get advantage over it if they made it the way that they did after all these changes have currently happened. So they want to make sure that those things aren't going to be available at that time. So they may change a few things. Maybe even might be certain things that are intention. Their intention was to only launch on Pulse Chain, right? Like maybe something like a liquid loans type of protocol. Maybe they've found some vulnerabilities between the two and they don't want to ruin the liquid loans protocol. So they may just change certain things in Pulse Chain to make sure that those types of advantages just clearly aren't there anymore. Even for the people that would gain the biggest advantage are the ones that may be the ones making the changes so that even they don't get that advantage. Which may become necessary. So that way you don't have to worry about government and SEC getting involved with dumb shit because you made a mistake.
I did hear Richard say that he feels that the bear market will end in a month and a half to 2 months. So maybe, as he expressed that, he's got game theory towards that.
Yeah, that would be a timing thing for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of thinking though that he's gonna wait for the retest. Let Hex and Hedron and Icosa do its thing, but wait for the retest of the overall crypto market and then release Pulse Chain, because then there would be no upward resistance.
All right, I gotta go, guys. It's good talking to you.
See ya, Executioner.
Brother.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
man.
as
Have
always.
a great, have a great evening.
We should do it. Just all chime in at once, so it's just like a garbled mess of doing good.
Yeah, yeah.
Just overwhelm them with support. We love you, Executioner.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's been fun, man. I learn a lot from throwing ideas around in here.
Yeah, I notice I'm getting tired because some things just fly right over my head.
We should resume again. There'll be more times.
Yeah, it's too bad because my time zone is completely the opposite of yeah, of when this chat is most populated.
Have dreams about Hex. So I don't know what time zone you're in, but I guess you could have. Yeah, I'm just talking about the potential of Hex to go over 20. Like, is it probable? I don't know. I'd make the case it was, but is it possible? Absolutely.
Heck, if the world doesn't go to hell in a handbasket, then Hex will certainly get up to $20. If it's going to be in the next 5 years, I don't know. $20 seems quite high for the next.
You've
But who knows, right?
compared Bitcoin 1 to Bitcoin 2, right, and seen the law of diminishing returns, right, and you've related on like what that would be like for Hex if it had a similar reduction of return on its second bull run. You've done that, yeah?
No. I haven't projected that outwards because, yeah.
You should. It's interesting because it like look into Hex, Gerardo's site, like it. That's what kind of got me looking at it. I was like, oh wow, actually Hex has a sustainable price chart that's done crazy amount of X factor, like Ethereum and Bitcoin, and you can compare it and just it's we're on trajectory for being one of the greats, Bitcoin and Ethereum being the greatest, right? And like
I
so
agree. Yeah.
history's not going to repeat, but it could rhyme. Most often does.
Yes.
Hex is everything Bitcoin wishes it was. So. In it for the long run though. So yeah, it's easy to kind of be positive because short time frames don't really mean much.
No, but if you look in on the macro scale, a lot of changes are gonna come the next 10 years, and
Trying
I
to
think
shake
it's
us
gonna
out of our positions. They want all our crypto. Like this is planned. Like the world's not going to end, and yeah, it is going to get worse for people that aren't in crypto and for people that let go of their crypto or get fudded out or whatever, But I think it's crypto's time to shine now. This is what it was kind of intended for, for like destabilizing times economically in the world. The CBDC is going to have their slice of the pie, and they're going to be able to coerce a lot of people. But I think both will exist. True decentralized finance and also CBDCs, and seemingly somehow like it's together. As odd as that sounds.
Yeah, I'm convinced. Yeah, I'm convinced they will.
Ton, I gotta run to work. Nice talking with you, brother, and everyone else. Kismet. Good night, brothers.